40, did you buy 40 acres or 50 acres? Because the lady said 50 something plus acres. I wasn't sure.
No, I don't have 50 plus acres. I only have 40 acres. I bought 40 acres.
Only got 40, that's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
And you're 25 years old.
Mm-hmm.
How many 25-year-olds do you know that have done something like that? I don't know any.
Yeah, I'm humble. I'm humble.
I don't know too many 55, 65, 75-year-old people that have bought that much acreage. I've never bought anything like that. So I'm real impressed.
Yeah, this is my first time. So yeah, it's definitely different. I don't know. I just wanted to live a more sustaining life, you know. So I was looking for land one day, and I was on this website called Land Watch. They have like a plethora of different types of land that you can choose from, whether it's undeveloped or developed. And I came across the property that I have now, 40 acres. And I immediately fell in love with it. And when I went to go visit it, like when I went to go visit the property, it was like amazing. It was so amazing. And then it was kind of cheap.
So did you say, this is home, I found my spot, I gotta have it?
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. It just felt right. It just felt right to my spirit, you know? Like, you know, when something like just feels good, like you're like, oh yeah, this is it. Yeah, it was just one of those. It was one of those. It was like love at first sight. Pretty much. Pretty much, for lack of a better word.
So my mother-in-law built a school over in Ghana, South Africa. And so when she would go over there, she's been over there 22 times. When she would go over there, she said as soon as the plane landed, she would get off and she just felt at home, like this is it, this is where I belong. And so I can appreciate that feeling.
Yeah, it feels good. It definitely feels good.
So tell me your plans for your land.
Well, I am trying to build a community. And basically with the community, I'm going to have like so many different businesses, you know, because I say businesses because one of the reasons why a lot of communities fail is because of lack of funding, right? Lack of revenue that they bring in. So a lot of people end up selling their land or whatever the case may be because they don't have the funds to keep it afloat. So I'm trying to create like a sort of kind of like in a sense like a Black Wall Street kind of, where it's like a place where our people can come and visit, well, come live and or visit and work and, you know, sustain themselves. And, you know, like we'll have all the amenities because my land is in Arizona. I don't know if I said it or not. And we're pretty much the Sunshine State. So I plan on having like solar panels. So that's like, you know, free energy, all of that. So yeah, I plan on creating like a self-sustainable community.
Nice. That's exactly what I want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in Texas, not Arizona.
Yeah, Texas and Arizona, they pretty hot. They're pretty hot.
Yeah,
but I'd rather be hot than cold.
Right. You and I both coming from Chicago. We're not
coming from Chicago.
We're not trying to do it up there. So is there going to be any like camping or wildlife or anything like that on your property?
Yeah, so part of one of the businesses that I plan on having on the land is Airbnb. It's this thing called glamping. It's pretty much short for it's pretty much short for glamorous camping.
Camping, I know.
And so I plan on having like a couple Airbnb properties on the land. I plan on dedicating 10 acres to the Airbnb. So that 10 acres is going to consist of X amount of Airbnb tents or domes or whatever the case may be. So yeah, we'll be camping and or glamping on the property. As far as the animals, I know in the mountains, I know I've seen skunks, skunks, deer, coyote, and I'm not sure. I probably have to do more research on that, but just those three off the top of my head, I know for sure will be like in the mountains. But because I plan on like fencing the property off, it'll keep a lot of those animals away from what I'm building on the inside.
So yours is not going to have like agricultural animals like goats or.
Oh, okay, you mean that? Okay, yeah. Yeah, I do plan on having like farming and agriculture. So I definitely want chickens, goats. I want a couple horses. There's a girl in that I'm working with, and she has her own dog breeding business, right? So she want to come on the land and breed dogs.
Not pit bulls, I hope.
You said not pit bulls?
I hope not pit bulls.
No, I love pit bulls. I love pit bulls. But yeah, she wants to come on the property and like start a dog breeding business, and so we're just gonna have like a lot of different types of animals. We also plan on building like a pond, which is gonna house like koi fish or things like that. So we're gonna have like fish and meats and things like that on the property.
Yeah, I come up there and fish and get some catfish out the pond. I don't know about.
Yeah.
I haven't had fried koi before, but.
Yeah, I never tried koi. Koi. If you ever seen koi, like koi fishes are beautiful. They're really beautiful. They're really colorful, and they just bring.
You don't eat them, though, do you?
Honestly, I don't know. I've never. Well, I actually looked that up, and it's not a lot of people that eat koi. So I think you can eat them. It's just a lot of people probably don't eat them for whatever reason. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look that up because I haven't seen anybody eat koi. I think they're just for decoration, but I could be wrong because I don't know.
Right.
So I was looking at the glamping in Texas because I want to do one here in Texas, and I want to go and meet the owners and find out how they did it, who they got their tents from, and it looked really nice. The one that's close to me is 3 hours away. It's called Udoscape Echo Glamping Resort, and it's up by Austin, since I'm here in Houston, Texas. But they charge $240 a night, and the next opening is not till November 23rd. So
that's pretty good.
That is pretty good, but each one has a hot tub with it. It's on a deck. I'm gonna have to look up how much they cost and to build one. I think they have 10 of them out there.
And you said what type of structure they're using, or what type of structure is it?
Yeah, I don't know if you can see. No, you can't see that with my.
I can't really see. Is it like a dome or a tent or a tiny home?
Yeah. Let me see if I can share my screen, and I'll pull it up.
Okay, I see it. Oh, that's really nice.
It's gorgeous. I would love to stay here. So this is what the domes look like, and they've got a deck. They each have their own deck. They have their own hot tub. And then the top of it is open so you can see the sky and the stars and things like that.
Wow. Oh wow. They have a water park?
No, it's close by.
Oh.
Well, I don't know why it's doing that. Let me go to Facebook. Maybe it's something on Facebook. Any more pictures? It's a pod resort, hill country. There's some pictures here. I like that they each have their own hot tub.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
Got a TV in there.
Mm. Yeah, it looks nice.
That looks really nice. And then that's open to the outside.
Now the thing about like my question about the domes and stuff like that is how do they hold up like against like thunderstorms or something like that?
That's a good question. That's one thing I would want to ask them, like who built them, and if there's a storm coming, do you take them down? You know, how does that work? I don't know.
Right.
It's got air conditioning. These are all air conditioned too.
Okay, that's good.
So then this can be closed off. If you don't want to see outside, you can close it off.
Mm. Oh wow.
And then underneath, they have like swings.
Mm.
Okay, it's the same picture. That's the shower.
Nice. They have a shower inside. Okay.
Microwave, coffee pot, toaster. So it's self-contained. You don't really have to be outside for anything unless you want to barbecue or
Mm-hmm.
then at night you got, the night sky. I love this. Yeah, so I want to do something like this. I guess this is the air
Yeah,
conditioning.
it's very attainable. I think if I'm not mistaken, I know yurts, it costs like $5,000 to build a yurt. But to put everything inside, it probably costs extra, maybe 10,000. So you're looking at 15,000 for a yurt.
Now wait, a what?
I think you're looking at 15,000 for like a yurt. Like
Spell that,
a YURT, a yurt.
because I don't know what that is,
Oh, okay.
but I'm gonna find out. Google is my friend. YURT,
Mm-hmm.
yurt tent.
Uh-huh.
Oh, they got them in Texas. Let me look at those. Yurts in Texas. Does it look like this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yurts are and they're like a cross between like tents and domes almost.
So like this
Mm-hmm.
one.
Yep, that's a yurt.
Okay.
I mean, it's better pictures out there than those, but yeah, yurts
Sure.
are really nice.
Johnny Yurts. Okay. And I ran across a motel out here, and we were in Wharton, Texas, and it
Mm-hmm.
was called the TP Motel. And they were motels that were made looking like teepee. I'm like,
Oh.
well, I've never seen anything like that before. Not that I liked them. They look, kind of, let's say trailer trashish, but I guess they were old. I like
Right.
the glamping. So far, the glamping tents are the best ones I've seen.
Mm.
Let's see, images. Okay, there we go. It's better images of them. Okay. So these are like tiny homes that aren't.
No, they're more so like tents in a way.
Because you can't cook or anything in these, can you?
Yeah, you can. They have
Microwave.
they're equipped with like kitchen and a bathroom and a bedroom and things like that in the living room.
Oh, they have multiple rooms.
Well, you can make it how you want, but some of the ones that I've seen have multiple rooms. Yes.
Learn something new every day, because I never heard of a yurt.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm new in this journey, so it's a whole lot that I need to learn. Okay, yeah, these are cute. How much are these to
To build, they cost about like about $5,000 to $8,000. But to like furnish them and put everything up inside costs like an additional like 10,000. So.
Okay. Yeah, I have no idea how much the glamping pods cost. Look at that one is all clear. This one looks tiny though. Okay, so tell me about your community. You have a community of how many people working with you on this project?
Okay, so before I answer that, I do want to say that Sade said she's about to hop on in a minute.
Okay.
So I'll probably let her answer that, or if you want me to answer it, I could. But yeah, the yurts are really nice. They're really nice.
So I wonder if the glamping tents are their definition of a yurt. Let me see. Glamping in Texas. I guess I should look at glamping in Arizona and see what you guys got there. Glamping in Texas near Houston. I don't think we have much here. Look to Houston, see that looks like a teepee there. I like the domes better than the teepees.
Mm-hmm.
And then this looks like a shipping container here. Utopian Glamping Resort in Medina Lake, Texas. See, our ideas are not unique at all.
Right.
They're just unique, I think, for our culture.
Yeah, they are.
There's a lot of people I talk to, they're like, I'm not no farmer. I got away from the farm. I grew up in Mississippi. I don't want to go back to that. It's like, okay. And people that grew up in the city are ready now to get to the country.
Yeah, a lot of people, actually mostly everybody from Chicago, their grandparents are from Mississippi. You know, a lot of people during that time, they migrated up north for like, you know, the manufacturer jobs, like the warehouse jobs and stuff like that. And so like a lot of people like my grandfather, he grew up on a farm, but he probably wouldn't, well, he's passed now, but yeah, he wouldn't want to move back on the farm because I think a lot of people think that it's a lot of work, but I would rather work for myself than to work for a job that can replace me and you know, not really care about me like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would rather grow my own food than to trust somebody else to grow my own foods, you know? So
exactly. And the way the prices of everything is going up, you might as well start growing your own and have more control over it. You know how it's made and how it's processed and everything like that.
Exactly.
And to those that like your grandfather and my mother-in-law, it was hard work. They didn't have the modern technology that we have now.
It was hard work because it wasn't a lot of them doing it. Like everybody had their own job. It wasn't like they had like a community.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They just had mom, pop, and
Okay, hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Okay, yes. Okay, this is Sade. I'm finally in the meeting.
Yes, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. We're just talking about our ancestors and why they wouldn't want to go back to the farm. Because it wasn't
well,
yeah, back in those days, it wasn't a lot of people working on the farm. So you had like a couple people doing multiple jobs at once. That's why it was hard. That's why like fast forward to 2022, it's important to have like multiple people living on a property or like a community to, you know, like help ease all of that workload. You know what I'm saying? So one person wouldn't be doing it all by themselves. So that's why a lot of older people wouldn't want to move back and get like land and start a farm because, you know, of how they grew up. Like my grandfather, he grew up and he had to milk cows and raise chickens and do this and do that. Like, and it was pretty much him by himself.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, it's the same work, but it's just different. It's just different. I guess it's different because it's a lot of people now, like a lot of people coming together as far as my group goes.
Right, and the way I'm envisioning farming on my land is it's not going to be out in like rows and rows out in the
Right.
sun. I'm going to use greenhouses, and I'm going to use the vertical um,
Yeah,
farming,
vertical gardening,
vertical
absolutely.
gardening, exactly. So it's going to look a lot different than our, forefathers did.
Right.
Yeah, it's gonna be smarter, and I'm not to say that they didn't, work smart with what they have, but we have learned so much and time has changed so much. You can take a small space and produce the same amount or even more with a higher quality product um, than just regularly in the land itself. All depends on how you do it, and it's still using organic practices. It's just a little bit more advanced than what we were doing previously, because we're not just taking away from the land and the soil, we're adding more to it. Um, so the yield is like not only more, but it's bigger as well. I've been seeing a lot of gardeners. I've been studying for many years. You know how you see some people and they'll have those huge, gigantic pumpkins that they'll put in contests and see who wins. The
Hmm.
biggest pumpkin contest, and you'll think that they may have did some type of like chemicals, or they had to do something to put that pumpkin on steroids to be so big, but actually it's just the practice um, that they use that is adding more nutrients and so forth into it, and is growing longer, that actually helps it grow so big. So it's a process, it's a science to it.
And you've been
Definitely
studying
a
this
science.
for a while, Sade?
Yeah, because before the group, I mean, I wasn't looking at, doing a community. I was just looking at for myself, my family, and stuff like that. But before then, we were looking to go off grid and to pretty much, I tell Kwame all the time, we were looking to eliminate bills. We didn't want any bills. I'm like, if I can get my own garden where I can pretty much try to eliminate food as far as what I spend on food, and go back to well water. I'm not worried about a utility bill. We can do electric for um, heat and lights, and then have like the solar and stuff like that. So I'm not necessarily really worried about too much about electric bill. And I just started looking at how a lot of people in other countries, third world countries, they were happy and they had less.
Hmm.
And we're here like struggling in the rat race on this hamster wheel, 9 to 5, working, working, working. And a lot of people are not happy. They're depressed, and suicide is on the rise.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm like, what's the difference? There was a study, it was like a documentary done, and they were saying that, they were less stressed, and they were happier because they didn't have to worry about bills. Things were simpler, and, they grew their own stuff. Their houses were paid for. They didn't have mortgages, and they didn't necessarily need a lot of things, a lot of materialistic things, to be happy. So I started looking at that like, okay, there's something with this. Like, a lot of people when they go on vacation, they're happy not just because they're on vacation, but they're getting sun, they're being around people, they're socializing, they're doing a lot of things. In
Hmm.
third world countries, some of the places they are socializing all the time because it's all about community. They socializing with their community, and so just putting all those factors together on what we're trying to do now, taking all the different practices of off grid and everything that, like I said, it's been at least about a decade that I've been looking at, but now bringing it into a community setting, because it was more like about just a family setting and looking at it on a mass scale. It makes sense, but in a way, it's semi going back to the ancestors because we being part of nature and going back to organic and stuff like that. But then again, it's still putting our like new modern flair to it, to where we don't necessarily have to go all the way back and do things exactly how they were doing. We can actually do it, better and smarter with the knowledge we know now. So,
Yeah, because I still do
yeah,
want my electricity. I
Right.
still want my
yeah,
electricity, but I do want solar. I don't want to be totally dependent on, But yeah, I
Exactly.
do want my modern amenities, but I want to be able to grow my own garden as well. And I know where the chicken came from and what it ate, and
Mm-hmm.
be able to go outside and meditate and pray with nature and be around like-minded people who are feeling the same way. And we can have a community, dinner once a week, and we have our own community where we socialize.
Yep.
Exactly. And it seems like there's a lot of people right now that is on there. That's how you can tell it's an energy shift that's going on like on the planet, because there's a lot of people that are thinking the same way, indigenous to the land, and just like us, and are forming communities. Now what we're doing though, which is a little different because everybody was kind of off doing their own community, we're trying to band to bring the communities together. So this is going to be, something new that you haven't seen in a long time. Because even back in the day, every community was their own community, and it was more separated. But yet everyone could still have their own community, but still have that connection, so we can learn from each other. And like I said, barter and trade, and we can kind of get things from other communities that, like I said, we can't grow. So like, okay, we can't grow, and you can, we'll be able to do that and still have that same type of import export type of vibe where you can still, get different textiles and materials from around the world, but have that off grid, natural going back. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a good balance between both worlds, from the old and the new. It's a
Yeah,
good balance.
you can't have everything on your property, but what you don't have, you barter and trade with somebody else that has it, and you have everything that way.
Absolutely. So we've been networking, and we bumped into a lot of communities, and just like you guys are what you're going to be doing, and we can all come together, and just be able to learn from each other and go to each other's communities, and learn different things, and stuff that you may be doing in your community. You come to our community, and so forth. So I think it's a good thing. We have a few communities like I think we discussed this before internationally. So, and we're looking to see who else is, doing those type of communities, and, link up with them as well. So that's what we've been doing so far, and it's been pretty good so far. Kwame pretty much been handling all of that part, linking up with a lot of different people and communities. And right now, I'm just trying to, get the funding and get all the legal law, sorry, and whatever you want to call as far as paperwork, because we're dealing with different jurisdictions on what we're trying to do as far as our paperwork. I'm gonna get into that deeper another time, but it's more about making sure that we're protected, the land's protected, and that we won't have any claims in the future, not even if it's quote unquote government claims. So we just want to make sure that we're protected, because I don't think our ancestors, they didn't have that protection like that. And we want to make sure that what happened before does not happen again. We have
And
learned our
back in
lessons.
the day, right, back in the day, like they say, like maybe like 80% of people like was growing their own food. They had their own farm and everything. But fast forward now, it's like, man, it's probably like 10% of people that have their own farming and things like that. Like when our people did have land and was farming, like the government and stuff took it away from us, and then they made us dependent upon them. So now what we're trying to do is basically get from their grasp and basically return back to who we used to be. You know what I'm saying? Like stewards of the land, and growing our own food and being closer to God, or whatever. Like that's the goal.
I love it. How did you two meet?
We met on the internet. We met on the internet.
Okay. The universe brought you two together, huh?
Yep, that's right. And we've been working it out ever since. Like we've been doing a lot of things, and to tell you the truth, it's kind of weird because a lot of people that we're dealing with is we met on the internet, and we all became kind of close, and it's kind of we're already have that community vibe already, and we're trying to build it stronger until everyone is on the land. because we're trying to talk to each other more, and people discussing their problems and issues and things that's going on in their lives, and we're trying to support each other now. So it won't be so hard to kind of go to the land and still don't have that camaraderie, that type of vibe. It's not like everybody's gonna come on and just be so new to each other. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because you kind of already know each other and everybody's background and kind of stuff already, because we've been talking with each other for months now. So it's definitely been a while, since the beginning of this year at least.
How many people do you anticipate going in with you on this property or living on the property?
Now these are two different questions now, because
Oh, okay.
going
Well,
in on, I'm only saying it because going in, we have investors, they may actually, invest in it, but they may not live on it. But as far as members that just want to, because we plan on having different, businesses on there that people may want to invest in. But
right.
like real solid members, I'm thinking, and Kwame, you can, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm thinking at least, I would prefer to have at least about 40, between 20 to 40, because we need some solid people that's going to be on there, that's going to help maintain the community full time. And we
Right.
know we're going to have certain people that are going to come on and off. We did not expect that. I gotta admit, we did not expect that. At first, we were solely on like people that was going to live in this community, and we had a good response of people that just wanted to be like a part and come, even if they're in other communities, and they wanted to, still have a piece of the land. So when they come to the states, because some of them are not in the states, and they wanted to have a place to stay, so they was like, "Oh, that'd be great. I can come to Arizona. You guys will have everything there, and we'll be a part." And I'm
It
like,
was like
"Okay,
a
we
vacation
wasn't."
property.
Yeah, like a vacation, even if they say 6 months, but we wasn't expecting that, because I'm like, okay, I was looking for real solid members, like full time, but then, it's whatever. But now it's like we just want to make sure that we have land then for both, so we can have land for people that may not be there all the time, but then also have the full time people that's going to actually do the work. So when we did come with that, like the 5K an acre, because we originally did that, it was like an introductory. We needed to have some people that is going to be on the land fast and immediately, because we're going to start the farming right away. So we're going to need some people that's going to be there full time, that's going to jump straight into their farming, because the land is zoned agricultural as well as residential, but we're focused more on the agricultural side, because we know we'll be able to get more grants, different fundings, and all type of assistance that way. So we're going to need people to be on the land immediately. So we have a few people that is willing to go on the land and jumpstart in, at least for the gardening and the
Right. And
farming
to answer
side.
your question, it's about
ASAP.
5 people that want to live on the land full time, like actually stay there. But as far as like vacationing, like being on the land, like here and there, it's a lot of people. So
Right,
yeah, about 5 people that
right,
want to live on the land. But
right.
as far as like, just I want to stay there for like a week or a weekend, we got a lot of those. So
yeah, I
Yeah.
want to come. I
So
want to
yeah,
come
so
visit it too.
yeah, so
Nice.
like I guess I would say that, yeah, for right now, who we have right now is about at least 5. But when she said anticipate, we anticipate to have at least around about 40, because that's what we would need to
yeah,
just
that's the goal.
when
Right.
everything is built. When everything is built and done, we're gonna need way more than 5 people that's
Yeah.
going to be on there to make sure that everything is functioning, because we do have the Airbnb aspect, the farming aspect, and then it's going to be recreational, and same thing even with your community. We're going to be doing classes, and somebody's going to be at least needing to be there to cook the food, because we are going to have where we need someone like a cook that is going to be there to cook the food, and so it's going to be a lot of different businesses and stuff that is going to need to be ran on a normal basis. So at least about 40 solid. We may have to hire out with some people to do certain things, but if we can have some solid people on the land, once it's done, that's the number I would like to hit. If we don't come exactly at the number, that's fine, but that's what we want.
And you expect it to be within like a year, 2 year, 3 year? What's your end game projection?
It's only gonna really be on the funding now, because the funding is gonna give us the manpower, and
Okay.
and if we don't have a lack of manpower, you can build rather quickly. Now, as far as year one, we definitely want to at least have so we can start making money. The farming, Airbnb, and to have at least some of the properties where group members can stay, and they're on there solidly. Maybe year two, if we don't have the funding and everything ready, we can really build more into the recreational side and also other business aspects, because we do plan on having, like you said, the hemp, because I know you've seen the video, but some of the
Yeah.
other businesses on there by year two, if it's not on year one. But it's really going to be about the money. And I'm already in the process. I'm been speaking to one of our lenders right now that's going to provide some funds. If we have the full funding, it definitely can be done by next year.
Nice.
Everything could be at least up by next year. Now, running well,
probably about like the summer or spring of next year, right?
And Kwame, you can be living in a glamping tent out there, right?
Right.
Do you have water out there already?
Say it again.
Do you have water out there already?
No.
No, we don't have a well yet.
Okay.
That's going to be one of the main, when we start the infrastructure, once we get this funding, that's going to be one of the first things we do, so we can make sure that we'll be able to put the animals and then have some of the group members come. We need to have that, and then, the septic, whatever we're going to do for well and septic, the fencing for security and so forth, that stuff's going to be implemented immediately. And then people will be able to actually start to come on there and start helping out with the building process.
Nice. I'm so excited. I'm so glad I ran into you guys. Kwame reached out to me. So I'm like, yeah, I got this thought in my head, and me and my family, and it's like, who else is doing anything like this? And here you guys are. Yeah.
Right. What I've noticed though, a lot of people they talk a lot. Me, I'm not really much of a talker. As you can tell, I'm pretty much action led. So I let my actions speak for itself. But like just what I've learned in this process, like you're gonna meet a lot of people that talk a good game, like, oh yeah, like we need to do this, our people need to come together, blah, 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 and we need to grow our own food. But when it actually comes to actually making moves, not a lot of people are about it. Right.
Like how much money you got to put in on this purchase of
right.
this?
Right.
Oh,
Right.
I ain't got no money. Oh,
yep.
That's because people are scared. Most people are scared of stepping outside of their comfort zones, and they like things that they're used to. They like certainty. Like they like the weekly paychecks or whatever. Like they want to know, like they want to know that they're gonna be getting $900 a week or whatever the case may be. Like a lot of people, they're like that. They're scared to take risks and they're scared to make mistakes. But it's the mistakes that you make is really gonna grow you. You know what I'm saying? And I've made a lot of mistakes starting the group and things like that. And I plan on making more mistakes. I'm not purposely seeking making mistakes, but I'm not shying away from the mistakes. I'm not shying away from
grow. That's how you grow.
Exactly.
High risk, high reward.
Exactly.
High risk, high risk. Well, you know it more than anybody. I mean, being a realtor, we deal with that. Now, we might have more of an educated risk because, we go in on properties and we may know what it's worth and different stuff before we take that risk. So I do like having educated risk. But there's also some times where you're going to take that risk on something, an invention or a project that you've never done before. It is always going to be high risk, high reward. And it's always going to be a select people to do that. Those are people that's like frontier people, innovative people. There's going to be select leaders that's going to do that. And then you're going to have a lot of people that, just like you said, Kwame, that's going to shy away. They're not the leader. They're more of a follower. They are semi-sheeple. And it's okay because they're needed, too, to come in once the leaders do what they do. So we come in, we do what we do. They're going to see it. And, again, if you build it, they will come. And then they'll come later because now is more of it's comforting because they can see. See, some people can't visualize. You know, some people can't visualize. It takes visionaries, and that's what we're doing. We're seeing something that they can't see, and then we're going to bring it into reality. And once we manifest it and they see it, then they're going to be coming up and like, oh, well, I want to be a part.
Right. Right. Yeah, just like my cousins. Well, I ain't gonna touch on that because this is recorded. But yeah, you're right.
Just don't say their name.
No, but yeah, no, my cousin, she was interested in it. And you know, she was saying like, oh, that's good, you know, blah, 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 blah. But I haven't heard from her since. And it was pretty much like maybe 2 months ago. So
Did you ask
like,
her for some money?
no, I didn't ask for no money.
Oh.
I was just telling her the vision and wanted to know if she was interested in building. And she was interested, but I guess that spark kind of went away. And that's one thing I learned as well, is that people are restless, that they don't have patience. And like 1 minute they have like they have this spark, like they're really on fire about this idea, and then like 2 seconds later, like, you know, that spark kind of goes away. So people attention spans nowadays are really low. So that's what I've learned.
Okay. So you both have heard of Hereafter Farms, right?
Oh,
Right.
absolutely.
Yeah, so I met Brother Ben X in Panama, which, you know, I had this, you know, thought in my mind, had been talking about it. And then when I met him and he told me what he had done, I'm like, wow, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go forward with it. So they've got 60 acres, they got 35 families that went in on it. And this is in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got some, you know, some small homes on there as well. And I think they even got another 100 acres somewhere else. So they got like 160 acres total. I think it's in 2 separate spots. So it's exciting to see our people taking advantage of, you know, what's out there.
Right.
And work together.
Yeah, I love everything that they're doing over there. I like it. They have some land in Africa. And in that land in Africa, they produce chocolates, and they ship the chocolates from Africa to, you know, to Georgia, and then they sell their chocolates and stuff like that. So that's pretty nice.
That must be this 100% pure cocoa that they got up here on Facebook.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Oh, nice. So they've got a connection over in Africa too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I told you my mother-in-law built a school over in Africa, so we need to touch bases with some of the people she knew over there.
Yeah.
See what they've got going on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I appreciate you both coming on here and talking about this. And so if somebody wants to invest with you guys or hear more about what you have going on, or maybe they want to live out there in Arizona with you guys, what's the best way to reach you or to contact you? Do you want them to go to your Facebook page or what?
They can reach out several ways. We have the email. I think I sent you the email, the Facebook page. Though I think, yeah, no, we don't have Facebook, do we? We have the
No, we don't have Facebook.
Instagram page, but we're switching that Instagram up, and we're in the process of doing the website. So for right now, do you want her just to send people to?
Yeah, it's just the email.
The email. Okay.
Okay, so that would be the Devine Nation.
Nation of the Divine at Gmail. And the one that I sent you information from
Okay.
that one.
I'll find out what it is.
I think it's Nation of the Divine at
Yeah,
gmail.com.
I think it's nationofthedevine at gmail.com.
Oh, Nation of the Divine. Okay. Yeah, I'll find it and put that on here. At gmail.com.
Okay.
All right. Anything else you guys want to say?
Well, lastly, because, if you have any other questions on anything, you can reach out. I've been trying to send you information via email anyway. But also, we're implementing a referral fee program as well. So if you do have some people that's interested, and I'll send you information on that as well. That for referrals for the the stuff that we're doing. Um, so whoever refers, all they got to do is say the name of the person. And but like I said, as far as how much, I'm going to send you that information because it depends on what you're referring for.
Mhm.
It would be determined the referral fee. But yeah, basically that's it. If someone is willing to, if they see what we see as far as the vision, what we have for the community, and they want to be a part, they could be a part of several communities. Same way they could be a part of yours and be a part of ours. It depends on what they're trying to do and what climate they want to be in. There's several different communities that are, like I said, connected and coming together. So all they have to do is reach out if they have any questions, and we'll go over everything with them.
Yeah, so I would like to get a copy of or a list of some of those other communities that you guys are working with as well. And then
Okay.
talk offline about, how you're getting some of your funding as well, because I'm definitely going to need that too, because I don't have a lot of money to be buying 40 acres.
Right. Yeah.
I'm going to need some help with that. So I'm going to need some people that wants to put into my community for that as well. But I want to leave something for my granddaughters and my children and make sure
Right.
it's
And that's really what it's about.
hmm
Mm-hmm.
And I just saw
Okay.
Elon. He got these robots coming out in a few years. It's going to be $20,000, so they can work some of the land too.
Oh. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. Not the robots working the land.
Oh yeah,
Whew.
I got a Tesla and it does drive itself. So
Oh
I
wow.
definitely believe in him and what he's gonna be doing.
Mm.
Well, see, you know better than me because you got a Tesla. I don't have a Tesla, so you have to let me know on that how everything's working with that. So,
Just watch
but
one of the
yeah.
episodes of the Jetsons when you get a chance.
Oh
Uh,
goodness. Okay. I guess
All
you
right,
said
you
that.
guys. Well, thank you guys for
Okay.
coming on and talking to me this evening, and I will definitely send you a copy of this when I get it together.
okay,
Okay.
most
Perfect.
definitely.
No problem. Okay.
Okay,
You have a
thank you.
wonderful evening.
You
All
too.
right. You take care. Bye
Bye
bye.
All
bye.
right. Bye.